Hi, this is Freya from Otherworldly, and today I've got another Deco crate for you. It is the February Deco crate, and the theme is Timeless Romance. I was actually lucky enough to win this particular Deco crate. I entered one of their giveaways. They do a lot of them in their on their Facebook page, and in the in-world group every month. And while I had been planning to pre-order, I do tend to kind of wait until the last moment to agonize over it and look at the previews and so on. But before I went to bed, I got the word that I had in fact won this one. So thank you very much to the team behind the Deco Crate and Mad P for being so generous with giveaways every month. And I thought that I'll give you well, I've been doing videos for all of them, of course, but you know, it's always fun to win something, so this will be an extra special video for me. What we have this month is, as usual, we have 15 designers. And I will just give you a quick look, if you haven't seen the Deco Crate before, how this is the packaging that your Deco Crate arrives in. Once you've subscribed, it's 1,500 if you subscribe before the 8th of the month, and then it's 3,000 if you buy it afterwards. And then delivers at midnight on the 8th. So they delivered this morning for me since I'm in Sweden. And you get this box, and of course it opens that way. And there you have all the individual boxes, and you can just easily go and unpack all of them, or you can click on the individual designers to get those. And for this month, the designers participating are Chesmois, Revival, Keke, Goose, Stockholm and Lima, Norris, Nomad, Mudhoney, Extraordinary, Sorry, Second Spaces, Vagabond, is that what? And Pew Pew, Serenity Style, and Cheeky Pea. So if you hit the unpack all, you'll have them delivering sort of in a subscription way that they'll come in one at a time, and eventually you'll have all 15 of them in your inventory. And I've set that up for myself because it's easier, and I'll have a little folder, a little cheat folder where everything is already nicely organized. And there we can have a little sneak peek at what we've got from the various designers. We have a balloon bed, a garden retreat, refurbished spring drawer, pallet hang bed, lover's trail, Venetian gondola, Tuscany bath set, genie beds, antique cherub lamp, repurposed cart, mood lighting, Brielle's valance, Timeless Romance set, Awful Love suitcase, and Forgotten Places fireplace. It's quite a lot of there that sounds really interesting, so I think we will get straight into unpacking. Though, brief pause beforehand when I let you know a little bit about what I am wearing for this unpacking, actually. And I've got a blog copy from the plastic, which is the Eden dress. And both that one and the hair from Exile are from the current round of Collaborate that also opened this morning. And I believe it has a bit of a fairy tale theme, and which I think Hyacinth of Silent Sparrow had suggested to them. And there's a lot of gorgeous things, quite a few tempting bits actually, but what I've got to show for now is this little dress, which is all in one piece and comes in several fitted sizes. And you have an option to have it with or without this metal trim, and if you have the metal trim version, you have a HUD where you can change between different metal finishes. And then the hair, I picked up the variety pack from Exile or the Naturals pack, I think it's actually called, from Exile, because it's got my reds, it's got blacks, it's got whites, and that pretty much covers it for what I might need. So I think that means we're all set to start unpacking. And I usually start at the bottom, whichever delivered first, and in this case it is the balloon bed from Chesmois Furniture. Let's get that into the inventory and see what we got. And we have a couple of versions here. We have an adult and a PG version, always good. And we have one that is called Hovering. So I think we will try the adult version of that one. Ah, I see. And here we have it basically hovering up and down a little bit. And the balloons are lifting the bed, so I'm guessing that the one that isn't listed as hovering does not have the that moving up and down action. So if we get into the little bed, we see that for the adult version we have single poses for males and females, we have love, and we have sex poses. And we have a nice selection here of female poses. Flies attack. I see. Whisking away the flies a little bit like that. And you can have a glass of champagne on your balloon bed if you fancy that. I always have a drinking problem in SL though, as you can see. I tend to have a bit longer arms than your average SL avatar, because I'm picking about the main proportionate, and that means that generally I find myself tossing drinks straight through my face. But that's a nice one. There you can get a really beautiful shot like that. Obviously I tend to see everything in terms of the sort of post photography I can get out of it, and I like this one. It has a nice feel to it, and with some interesting poses like that you can get some nice scenes going. Do a bit of reading in your hovering bed. That is quite romantic indeed. I like this one. Let's hop down and get myself out of it as well. Color options doesn't seem to have any, but red of course is entirely appropriate for the season. So that is the first one. And then for the next one we have Revival's Garden Retreat. And I see we have some options here as well. Options are always good. We have the retreat in two versions, in grey or in white. So I guess we will simply res a grey version and a white version. We will at least attempt to do so. There we go. Oops, got too many. Come around here and see what the differences are between these two. Once this one is actually rested properly. Okay, here we have a little bucket of flowers on the outside. There we go, resing in like that. Very nice. And you have a little seat here. The other one seems to be more or less the same, but it doesn't have the bucket of flowers. So I'm guessing, yes, we have some seats here. We have male and female, and we have some couple ones as well, so you can have a nice little sit either alone or together with someone. More romantic to have someone to sit there with. And here you can get a lovely little shot through the window. That's a great angle. So that's another very nice both decor and post-prop item. Item number 3 in this Deco crate is the refurbished spring drawer from Keke. Let's see what we got here. That looks like a nice little decor item. So here we are. I'll turn this around instead of turning myself around all the time. So we have a kind of, I guess you'd call that a bit of a sort of shabby chic paint job on this drawer, which has been converted into growing flowers, and which is not a bad idea at all. Although it might get a little difficult to actually maintain in the long run. I do dabble in a little bit of growing stuff every spring, and I plan to be starting off my chilies soon. I haven't had much luck with flowers, though. I don't think my fingers are particularly green. This is quite a nice item that I think could be used really both as a sort of maybe in an outdoor room sort of open area, and or you know, on a balcony sort of thing. It's quite nice and has a sort of lovely pastel-y color to it, nicely set off by the flowers. And next up we have a palette hang bed from Goose. Let's see, did that one unpack? No, it didn't automatically unpack. There we go, click it and we got it. And here we have another sort of floating bed, or this one, I guess, let me see here, should be attached to something or other, maybe a couple of trees or something. And I'm guessing we have some sits and some cuddles on this, which has some nice floral textures here, a basic sort of palette, making the frame of it. So nice lights along the string up there. It's more of a, well, I'd say it's cramped for cuddles, but you might want to be close when you're cuddling, so not a bad idea. Again, sort of a semi-outdoorsy thing, either in a, you know, an old cottage or somewhere on the outside where you can look and be outside and wait for spring. Although right now it would be really cold to set this up outside here waiting for spring, because you're gonna be waiting a long while. We've all of a sudden gotten some extra cold coming in. It's been too mild this winter, and then you get used to that, and then the cold comes in from Russia, and all of a sudden you're freezing everything off. From Stockholm and Lima comes the Lover's Trail. Curious item from the previews. I think I have a sense of what it is. And it is the Lover's Trail, hers and his. Alright, we will rest them both and see. Aha, okay. That's a cute ID. Maybe a somewhat limited usefulness, but it is a nice little prop to have when you're setting up your photo and you want to have a trail of clothing leading up to the bed. Oh, I see. Nice choice of quotes there as well, with the "I love you" and "I know." And then of course, I'm not sure if that is the print on the underwear, or if those marks got there some other way, but cute as well. So yeah, definitely a fun little prop to have for a scene. Sort of adult in nature, I guess, in what it implies, but hey, they could just be sleeping. Definitely appropriate for the timeless romance and for sort of Valentine's Day coming up and all of that. The next one, I had guessed from the previews that Nomad's item would indeed be a boat of some kind, and it is a Venetian gondola. And ooh, that looks fancy. Now, obviously, I don't have any water right where I am standing, but I will have to demonstrate it on dry land, so to speak, and it has poses. As you can see, it looks a bit out of place here, but this is definitely one that I'll be putting out on one of our waterways and taking a closer look at like that. So we have various cuddle single poses here, and then we have cuddles as well. As would be appropriate for a gondola. There is also a separate gondola pole. Let's see if I stand up. Oh no, I see. I guess those are not the ones that you use to paddle the thing, of course. Those are the ones that they are moored at, I guess. Looked a bit funny when I was trying to wear it. This is really nice. I like the detailing here, and very Venetian. This is something to dress up in a mask and ball gown and do a photo shoot with sort of from the Venetian masks. Very cool. NAR's contribution is called the Tuscany Bath Set. Let's see what kind of bath set we have here. We have a rustic outdoor bath and shower. It's a PG version with 23 animations. And we have a old wooden bath mat and rest bath water and particle shower. All right. Let's see how that looks like in world. I suppose the bath doesn't have to be adult. Nice. Again, I think people are very much thinking spring and outdoors for the Romans, and I can understand that with the two previous sets having been very winter focused. So you can turn on your water, and now I'm gonna get my outfit all wet. And we have singles, and we do have some couples. So not entirely PG, because if you're showering together, you're dangerously close to doing some adult stuff. Or maybe that's just me. That's nice. Oops, there I get some glitches with the. Actually, I got a lot of alphas around here. I'm up on one of the sky landscapes from Landscapes Unlimited. So the trees and such out in the distance, of course, are alphas. But yeah, I like this one. I'll get nice and clean as well. So water off, and take a look at the nice. It's got a nice, very realistic texturing, but it's sort of a rusted old tub. The patina on the wood here looks really great and realistic as well. Yes, I think I'm clean now. So out of that I go, and pick up the bath mat as well, and see what our next item is. It is the Ginny Beds from Mudhoney. So we're getting a lot of bed options. We have in PG and adult, yay, in neutral and vintage. So I'm gonna res out both of those to give you a look, although maybe not on top of me. Sometimes I am baffled at where SL puts things. I was setting up for another photo shoot yesterday and rested something that I thought would end up on the floor that I was, but no, it ended up on the floor above me instead. And this one seems absolutely insistent on ending up in the sky. But there we have it. We have the neutral version. Take off the bold tools, might make it a little easier. Insert creams, browns, black, no further color changing. And then we have the vintage, which has a lovely rose palette, sort of old rose palette, and these both nicely romantic beds. And we have menus for by myself, couples, and adult. 3 menus there. And quite a few menus there. And a bit less there, but plenty to get some fun on with. And it's very prettily textured. Nice mesh. I mean, the quality of all of the pieces in the Deco crate is always top notch. No question about that. And it does tend to have a nice mix of styles and things that you could make it work with. So I always get use out of quite a few items. The only problem being that I've collected so much in the way of furnishings and decor lately that it's really difficult to fit in all of it. From Hextraordinary comes the Antique Cherub lamp, and they did a really nice chandelier for last round. So I haven't actually had a chance to work that into a post yet, but I hope to find the right one at some point here. And the this cherub lamp will be another one I'm sure that I will want to use because they really do absolutely gorgeously detailed work. And yes, this one is no exception. It's lovely detailing. Beautiful. I mean, the metal is so realistic. And this lamp, look at the texturing on the lamp itself, and the way it lights the rest of the statue. Very nice. So that's a lovely little piece for maybe a table, a small side table or something like that, to get it up from the ground a little bit and show it off. Very pretty. And after that we have the repurposed cart for Sorry Sorry, and I have no idea what it has been repurposed into, but we shall see. And we have a card which says that it is bento ready animations, a bento ready mesh head and hand attachments. Oh, now that is interesting. I do have a bento head on, but I don't have any bento hands. I don't have one of the standard bento heads, however, but we will see what it does. So we have sit one here, which is bento, and then we have a couple animations too. Obviously you won't see if it does anything with the hands, since I don't have the Vista hands. I'm waiting for the Slink hands to come out. And I'm not sure that any facial animations actually works with I'm using the light star head, the Athena light star head. This might be geared towards Katwa or Luca, but I am going to try the other one as well. Oh, I do wish I had the hands right now. And I think I'm going to have to try this one as well with my Liloka head to see how it works with that one. I'm not strictly sure how people are able to do animations for heads that they don't create themselves, because obviously it's quite it can be quite complicated, and different heads can react very, very differently to the same animations. But it is, to look a bit more closely at the item, another rustic, kind of, I'd say, outdoorsy or at least very rustic surroundings for this sort of bed. So obviously it could work more as a bench as well as these. I think it's more of a bench or a sort of nice little resting place than a full-on bed, of course. But it's quite cute. I just wish I could show off the bento part to you right now. Then we have mood lighting from Second Spaces. And we have a promo, and it shows that we have bunches of sets of candles, and that's always great. I really do like putting down sets of candles for when I set up a scene, whether it is in a a bed or anything. I like the having a bit of lighting going on, and I do not know why I'm still pointing to the sky. There we go, got stuck in an animation. So we have these little circles, and we have something called the skyline as well, arranged like that. And then we have two tabletop versions as well, and they are in this color. They have, I don't think they have an on or an off. They are permanently on, so to speak, but they are very nice, clean decor items that really would fit any kind of style very nicely. So that's all the romantic lighting you might need to go with any of the other pieces shown so far. You can see with several of the beds, although maybe it'll be a bit dangerous with the balloon bed. Not in SL though, thankfully. And after that we come to Vagabond. Brie's Valance is my guess at how that should be pronounced. I have absolutely no idea what it is, however. Ah, that is what it is. It is a very nice set of curtains. And these kind of rusted keys as decor there, and lights strung up on the top. I think the notes said that those can be unlinked if you prefer not to have them, but I think they're quite a nice touch. And you have some options. You have a damask, very pretty. Floral beige, lovely. Cream and beige, which I think is where we started, yes. So very nice, rustic, romantic, kind of old-fashioned curtains. The only problem I've found with, I have a couple of sets of curtains in SL, is that obviously finding the right size window is not always easy, because there's so many different ways that people can do them in houses, and but in the right sort of build, that should look really nice. Down to our final 3 items, and we have Pew Pew's Timeless Romance set. And it seems to have quite a few little options here, so we can see what we are going to res out. We have Little Rounded Candle, Romance, Planks and Poems, Ruined Wall, Stone Bench, and a bulk scene. Well, let's just go for the bulk scene to make it nice and easy. And of course I am on the wrong side of the bulk scene, but basically what we have is this part of a stone wall from a house. We have this stone bench, worn down and a bit of moss on it, and then we have these planks lying on the ground, or as now floating a little bit in the air. It's some nice little pieces of poetry on papers, and me see, we've got some, there are candles that press when you get closer. And the LOD on them is a little unforgiving, I see, because you don't go up very far for them to disappear. And there the light pops in as well. But this is a nice scene. Have some poses here as well. A few male poses. Same set of female poses. And some couple poses. So perfect for a nice little romantic outing. Romance and ruins always go very nicely together. And I'm going to see if I can get rid of these. Oh, I am going to have a bunch of little lights floating. And they will just have to stay there for now, I think, because... Or maybe I can at least get rid of the most obvious ones, but... It's a bit tricky sometimes to chase these down. So we will just continue with the last two items instead. And that is the All for Love suitcase from Serenity Style. And here we have a little selection of romantic props, I think. It seems to be in multiple pieces as well. See if it shows up. Yes, it does. So what we have here are some cute postcards, flowers, and this little decor box, something for your nightstand next to the bed, to be a little reminder of love letters and so on. So that's a cute little decor piece. Good mix with a few of those in the crate that you can use with the larger pieces. And finally we have the Forgotten Places fireplace from Cheeky Pea. And items are always a treat to unpack. And this one does look gorgeous, I have to say. Not quite sure why I have managed to start resing everything a little bit above me in the air, but we'll see if we can manage to... Oh, that one unpacked itself, so I got two copies. So we have the Fresh and the Worn fireplace. So I'm going to res out both of those to give you a comparison between them, which is pretty obvious when you look here. That one of them has seen better days, and the other one has been recently cleaned up and restored. And then you have some options here, it seems, as well. You can res a book, a rose, and flames for the candles. So they are a separate part like that. And I'm going to guess that it has a similar version here. Yes, it does. Book and flames. Would have been a nice touch actually if the rose was withered for the worn version. But I guess it's not supposed to be entirely abandoned. Just it's been around for a while. So those are very decorative, really pretty. You can even go up and look down like that on them. They're done properly from the top as well. I love this drape here of fabric and one of the roses on the mirror. God, I wish we had working mirrors in SL. But those are really pretty. Already going through my head and trying to think of which house I could have this out permanently in, because this one's gorgeous and makes it for a beautiful backdrop. So that, oh, I see, I should have just told it to undo those before I got rid of them. And now I've got lights everywhere and some cleanup to do, but that will be something for after the video. So that is the Deco crate for February, with the theme of timeless romance, and I think this is a theme that they definitely managed to capture across the board, really. These pieces fit in, they have a sense of often sort of a little rustic or aged, and various sort of nods to aspects of romance. No full-on builds this time, but a couple of nice scene elements, and a lot of different beds and post props. So that's always nice and versatile, and that's great when you're setting up a scene and you don't have to go chasing poses, because sometimes that can be a very tiring part of the process. Trying to find just the right pose, and having an animation as part of a pose pack can be a really nice way of getting expressive photos and different photos from what you usually do. So I've already gone through what I was wearing, but of course there will be a post accompanying the video where I'll have the slurls and the details for what I'm wearing, and of course a link to the Deco crate, so there you can go and see previews of all the items, because whatever photos I take to go with the video, of course, won't be showing all the items. But that's it for me for this time, and another thank you to the Deco crate team for their giveaways, and I will definitely be keeping a close eye on what's coming out in the March Deco crate.